Grandma Moses, written and illustrated by Alexandra Wallner. Anna Mary Robertson was born on September 7th, 1860, on a farm in Washington County, New York. She had a happy childhood. During lazy summer days, she floated along the mill pond, looking at puffy white clouds on a raft her brothers had built. She ran through fields dotted with sweet-scented wild flowers. Her favorite game, however, was building air castles, as she called making believe. Anna Mary had few toys, so she made her own. Once she cut out paper dolls from newspapers. She painted eyes with blue lavender rinse and lips with grape juice. Her mother's old petticoats made nice trimmings for the dolls' dresses. Anna Marie was proud of her first artwork. One winter her pa got sick, so he could not work outdoors. So he asked Ma if he could paint pictures on the living room walls. Ma said she didn't care as long as she got clean walls. For hours Anna Mary watched Pa paint a scene of nearby Lake George. When he was done, Ma was so pleased that she asked Pa to paint the whole room full of outdoor scenes, or landscapes. Making pictures looked like fun to Anna Mary, so she painted scenes of hills, lakes, fields, and trees on pieces of slate and window panes. She called them her very pretty lamb-scapes, which made her brothers laugh. Pa liked Anna Mary's paintings, but Ma needed her to help with farm work. In winter, Anna Mary carried buckets of maple sap for making syrup. She helped Ma mold candles and soap. She did housework and helped neighbors too. There was little time for school. 3 months in summer and 3 in winter. Certainly there was no time at all for painting pictures. When Anna Mary was 12, she left home to work as a hired girl. She worked hard for a nearby family, cooking 3 meals a day, tending a large garden, washing, ironing, and churning butter. After a few years, she worked for another family, who let her go to school when chores were done. In school, she sometimes was allowed to draw. She enjoyed making maps. Her teacher asked if he could have one because he liked the way she drew mountains. She was pleased that someone liked her artwork. In autumn 1886, when Anna Mary was a very young woman, she went to work for another family. There she met Thomas Moses, a hired man. Anna Mary got to know and respect Thomas. She later wrote, "In those days we didn't look for a man with money, but for a good family, good reputation. Many of the boys were chicken thieves." Anna Mary and Thomas loved each other, and a year later they got married. Then they moved near Staunton, Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley to manage a dairy farm. They bought 2 cows on credit. When churning milk into butter, Anna Mary sat on the porch and watched the landscape. The setting sun changed green hills to blue. A train's gray smoke curled into the pink sky. How she wished she had time to paint the scene. Instead, she turned a lot of milk into butter and proudly paid for the cows. Soon Anna Mary had a baby, and the family moved into Mount Airy Farm. She had 9 more babies, but not all lived. 5 little graves I left at that beautiful Shenandoah Valley, she sadly wrote. The family eventually moved back to New York. They bought a dairy farm near Eagle Bridge, which they called Mount Nebo. Anna Mary spent her days cooking, washing, ironing, mending, gardening, feeding chickens, and raising children. One day she was wallpapering the parlor and ran out of paper. Still yearning to make pictures, she saw a chance. She painted 2 large trees on either side of the fireboard, and in the middle she painted a lake with big brushes. Her family admired the scene. "That was my first large painting," she later wrote. Her children grew up and left home, but still Anna Mary was busy helping Thomas run the farm. They found time for fun, though, going to church, on picnics, or on buggy rides. She watched people skating on ponds in winter and children flying kites in spring. Anna Mary treasured those wonderful memories. Perhaps someday she would have time to make them into pictures. In the very cold January of 1927, Thomas got sick and died suddenly. With her children gone and her husband dead, Anna Mary was lonely for the first time in her life. But now she had time for her artwork. When she turned to it, she found it comforting. Finally, she could show people the many happy memories she had gathered over a lifetime, and they could see the world through her eyes. She made many worse paintings with bright colored yarns, worsted. When her fingers developed rheumatitis and she could no longer hold a needle, she turned to painting. Anna Mary often felt Thomas was watching over her shoulder, whispering her in her ear what to paint. She wrote, "I never know how I'm going to paint until I start it. Something tells me what to go right on and do." For the next 10 years, Anna Mary painted many scenes, always something pleasing and cheerful. "I like bright colors and activity," she wrote. Anna Mary used cheap paint and brushes. She used toothpicks for fine details and glitter on snow scenes to make them sparkle. In 1938, after painting a lot of pictures, she decided to exhibit some of them in the Hoosick Falls drugstore. "I also exhibited a few at the Cambridge Fair with some canned fruits and raspberry jam," she wrote. "I won a prize for my fruit jam, but no pictures." She was disappointed, but she didn't let it stop her. She was having too much fun. One day, an art collector from New York, Louis Calder, passed through Hoosick Falls and saw Anna Mary's pictures. He liked her scenes of farm life and days gone by. He said the cozy pictures made him feel happy and thought other people would feel the same way. Louis Calder took the pictures to New York. He said an art gallery there might want to show them. Months went by, but none of the galleries were interested. Although the art dealers liked the pictures, they didn't want to take a chance on an unknown artist who was so close to 80 years old. When the Museum of Modern Art had an exhibit of unknown American painters, 3 of her paintings were shown. Then, in 1940, the Galleries St. Etienne said it would display her pictures. People liked the honest way Mary painted memories from her heart. They smiled at scenes of long-ago days, quilting bees, playing in the snow, families getting together on holidays. Through her pictures, they felt as if they knew her. She was like their own grandmother. Soon, Anna Mary came to be known as Grandma Moses. When her exhibition opened, large numbers of elderly people came. "Having heard of my story," she wrote, "old people said they were inspired by her example. They admired her for starting a new career at her age." Her pictures were reproduced on cards, greeting cards, and many people knew Grandma's artwork. In 1949, President Harry S. Truman presented her with the Women's National Press Club Award for Outstanding Accomplishment in Art. She was interviewed on radio and TV. Asked about how she painted, Grandma answered, "Before I started painting, I get a frame. Then I saw my masonite board to fit the frame. I always thought it a good idea to build the sty before getting the pig." She also modestly wrote, "I am doing better work than at first, but it is owing to better brushes and paint." People paid her a lot of money for her artwork, but that didn't matter to her. Grandma was now a famous artist. She remembered a dream her father had about her when she was a little girl. He dreamt I was in a large hall, and there were many people there. They were clapping their hands and shouting, and he wondered what it was all about, she wrote. She was glad that she finally had a chance to make pictures, and that people enjoyed the pretty world she created. Grandma Moses died on December 13th, 1961, at the age of 101. She had once said, "Life is what we make it. Always has been, always will be." The end.